had multiple offers, and we selected the right buyer for this seller because his ultimate idea was to exchange into a DST, a little bit more passive investments.
Hey everyone, today Mike O'Neill and I are sitting down to talk about 12 units we just closed located at 2607 Solana Way here in Laguna Beach. This property has views from every unit. This is the first time this property's been on the market in over 40 years, and we're really excited to talk about the deal story, which Mike is going to share with us, and we're going to talk through the metrics. So any viewers watching this video, if you own a property in Laguna Beach, this is going to be great insights for you. Or if you're looking to buy a coastal apartment building, this will also be very good information. So Mike, thanks for being here.
Well, thanks for having me. I mean, when we talk about Laguna Beach, it's a special market for all of us. Each building is not like the next, and especially 2607 Solana Way. It's a 3-story building, and when you drive by, it just catches your eye, right? All these units have ocean views. It's pretty spectacular, and as you mentioned, first time on the market in over 40 years, and we just closed escrow on it.
We closed escrow, led by Mike O'Neill. We represented the seller on this property. It was a very important broker selection process for him to go with a brokerage team that he feels good with. And Mike and I executed very well for him. We also brought in the buyer through our investor network, which performed and closed. And let's just go over some of the highlights. So the property sold at $7,375,000, which equates to a 3.7% cap rate on current rents. There's a lot of upside in this property. There's views again from every unit. The buyer plans to upgrade the interiors and really bring this property to the next level. The price per foot, $751 a foot and $614,000 a unit. So moving on to the most important part is the deal story, how this all kind of came about. So Mike, if you don't mind, give us the rundown. How did this all come together?
So this apartment complex is called the Sterling Plaza Apartments. It's been with this ownership over 40 years, passed down through generations, and then there was one of the ownership, they subscribe to your video marketing, and throughout the years we just look at these, this is what we did in this city, Laguna Beach, and ultimately they decided that when it was time to sell, they reached out because of how active we were in Laguna Beach. And we were able to let them know our marketing process. We had multiple offers, and we selected the right buyer for this seller because his ultimate idea was to exchange into a DST, a little bit more passive investment, since he was self-managing the property. A lot of us, if we care for a property, we've owned it for decades, and especially if it's very sentimental to our family, want to take good care of it. And this property he took tremendous care of. He recently put a new roof on it. There was electrical, there was seismic upgrades too. So it had great bones, and then now the new buyer plans on doing their own renovations so they can up the rent.
And then the buyer's also planning to put a couple ADUs, I hear, on the property?
Yeah, 1 to 2 new ADUs, potentially in-suite laundry as well. And when you get to this property, it's 3 stories, and then on top there's this penthouse unit, and it has panoramic views of the Pacific Ocean, and all the units too. They have their own private balconies. Truly a special property, and locations such in Laguna Beach are very sought after from investors.
Yeah, this property is very stately, as you mentioned. When you're driving down PCH and you're headed south and you look up and you can see this property, I mean, it looks almost like 20 units. It's very wide and expansive. And again, the views, when we did the inspection and we went through all the units, there's views from every unit. So you could really go in and do a high-level finish on this and get premium rents because you are surrounded by multi-million-dollar homes. You've got Montage just a little further south. You got the beach, so you're surrounded by some of the best luxury single-family real estate in all of Orange County.
Right. I mean, okay, so you go, if you look like price per unit in the 600s, right? And then you got these $1 million homes selling left, right, behind you, and then you just have this large apartment complex, over 9,000 square foot rentable there. You're walking distance to Victoria Beach. It's well parked. It's got nice amenities. It's quiet too. So tremendous upside for the new owner, and I'm really excited to see what they're going to do for it. And then especially the seller too, they're going into a more passive investment. They're going to be able to increase their NOI too. So it's truly one of those scenarios where it's a win-win for both sides.
And you know, another point was, I mean, it was nice everyone coming together certainly led by Mike to kind of arrange, the sales process, the marketing process. But this is a property we believed in so much with so much conviction. This is not your standard apartment building. Like you said in Laguna, they're all very unique. This is unique. This is extremely unique with views out every unit. We love this property so much. We actually knew the buyer for this property, and we approached the buyer and said, hey, Mike and I really like this property. We think this would be great for your portfolio. We love the level of renovation that you're doing on other units. If you could almost take it to the next level and go even further, you're going to probably get a great return on your costs for the rent levels you're going to hit here. And this is a great property to tuck into your portfolio long term. So we believed it with so much conviction that we ended up getting the buyer to come tour the property, and they fell in love with the asset thereafter. But it was one you really had to tour to really fall in love with it.
Yeah, I remember when I first joined on Multifamily Socal 2017, you're supposed to drive your markets, drive in Laguna Beach, and you're driving Coast Highway, and you're like, well, what is that big building there, 2607 Solana? And then you never think it's going to actually sell. And then when the ownership reaches out to you, and they're like, inquiring about opinion of value, and then you do get the listing, you start marketing it, and then you hypothesize on who the correct buyer could be. And Dan and I came together and we're like, oh, this group just recently bought a coastal asset from us. This could be another one in their portfolio. It's the right buyer for the seller, closed on time, actually closed pretty early, and gave the seller amount of time that they needed to find their exchange property is perfect on all scenarios.
Absolutely, and I've done the same thing driving. Yeah. You stumble on this building, and you're like, wow, what a property. And we're grateful to have been able to sell it, and we're very grateful. It was a win-win for everybody. It was a win for the seller, it was a win for the buyer, and if we can kind of take care of the seller, certainly, of course, and the buyer's taken care of, then we win as well. But it's just great. It's great real estate to sell. It's wonderful when you get a call from an ownership. Mike and I have been up and down the coast selling apartment buildings, and it is a big passion of ours. And it's great when a seller feels the same way and hires you to sell it, and you have the confidence that the buyer for this property will most likely come through us and our investor network that we've been growing and building, which are now up to over 11,000 people in our investor network that are high net worth investors locally here. Some are coming from exchanges in other areas and wanting to be in this market, or they're local here, they live here, and they've just got more cash that they want to continue to keep buying. So it'd be great if we continue to do this and keep selling great real estate. And I think the biggest thing when this owner contacted us, this is the first time they were selling a building. They didn't really know what to expect. But Mike and I really have designed a white glove service to go through and represent these sellers and make sure that we do a lot of the heavy lifting, we do a lot of the stressful part of the process, so the clients get their time back. They know that this is in good hands, and we're giving them live, real-time updates as to what's going on. So that's one of the main reasons why Mike has been able to differentiate himself and our team and continue to grow into the market. And I think it's big to shoot these videos for the folks that are watching that might own a building and might be thinking about divesting, maybe going into a DST. Maybe they might want to look at, some are cashing out, some are exchanging out of state. There's a number of things that you want to do, but we're not just listing brokers. We really want to be a deeper part of the conversation. We really want to understand, what you're looking to accomplish and really get a game plan around your properties. So things change and you have a plan. And if we can be a part of that, then, that's great. That's what we're here for. So it's another one done in Laguna Beach, Mike.
Yeah, I think over the past 5 years, we've had a market share of over 70% in that city. It's been truly a special city, and we're seeing a great amount of investors wanting to invest in Laguna Beach. Some of them might live in there or close by, and everybody, obviously, it doesn't matter where you're in the United States, where Laguna Beach is from all the TV shows, all the publicity there. And if you ever want to update opinion of value, or if you need to know where the rents are in the area or exchange analysis, we're not going to push you on selling, but if you need to know what your building's worth or where you can take your rents or maximize your value or just anything whatsoever, Dan and I are here to help.
Yeah, we're happy to be part of the conversation. So thanks so much for watching. If you're watching this, you're not on our investor list and you want to get on the list, put a comment below or send us a message. We'll get you added so you can get access to our newsletter, get access to all of our videos that come out real time, and then also get access to inventory and deal flow within the marketplace. So thanks again for watching, and Mike and I will see you again soon.